agentic systems have been a big focus, right, over the last year. And I think there's a few reasons for that. Number one is that, large language models are hugely expensive to develop and to train. They require huge amounts of information. They require massive compute that's very expensive. And, this is tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to build these big foundation models, these big LLMs, right? So only a few players are going to be able to do that, right? So what's everybody else going to do? Well, everybody else is going to take these things and use them for stuff, right? Build onto them, add onto them, right? And I think that's been one of the reasons why people have really kind of, especially like researchers, right, have done some of this work on agentic AI in the last year. The second reason is what I said a few minutes ago, right? If you think there's going to be some diminishing marginal returns to the development of large language models themselves, well, then how do you keep AI moving forward? You got to give those large language models access to tools. You've got to give them access to additional capabilities, beyond just training a bigger model. And I think that's one of the reasons why folks have moved in that direction. But I think you're right. Agentic AI has been a thing. It's moving the problem from a machine learning science, let's figure out how to do AI type thing to a practical, software engineering problem, right? Like, how can we layer on a bunch of other stuff, create a good closed system and make it deployable, right? So that it works well and it's, intelligent, right? From the perspective of the downstream user. The long-term use for these things is now you can kind of think about giving them control over a task instead of just, hey, answer my prompt, right? Now it's more like I have colleagues who work at a local kind of tech-heavy company, and their goal is to have every developer think of themselves as the manager of a team of AI agents, right? And so it's like, they go to their AI agent and they say, hey, write code to do this, right? Integrate these software tests, right? And then please, do a merge request and check it in, right? To GitHub, right? So it's an agent that's doing this entire task, right? And I think it doesn't just have to be software engineering; it could be anything. So I think that's kind of what you're feeling right now, is this kind of like interest in using AI for these kinds of things.
Yeah, and to that point, that's exactly how NEI has approached, the usage of AI within the engineering space. Cautiously, because we don't give any exposure to PII data or client data or transferee data. But in terms of quickly converting code from old code sets to newer code sets that are becoming our standards, well, that's, as long as it's anonymized, that's exactly what the AI engine does, just incredibly quickly, as opposed to still have to research and do a little bit of analysis on it to make sure, this is exactly what we want, and obviously with testing, but it just augments, the engineering capabilities of the entire team.